I just wanted to celebrate or highlight or whatever, shout out or like mention that it is now going into like slowly going into week 7, and I have tried jogging with the stroller twice. Not really like intentionally, but it just happened to be very motivated to run. The first one was when me and Kai was going to get Eli from preschool, and we were running late. So I started jogging with the stroller. That was last week, and it felt like better than I thought it would. So I was like, okay, maybe soon I can go for a small jog. And the second one was now. Just like half an hour ago, I started jogging pretty intensely with the stroller because me and Kai was out for a walk. It turned into a quite long walk, more than 1.5 hours. I actually have the time now, so 1:34 counting. And that was a little bit too long for her, so she started getting fussy more and more. And I started jogging, like doing intervals so that it would come to an end sooner rather than later, because we were like basically on the longest distance from our house when she started getting fussy. Like we were doing a round. So when we were the furthest away, she started really wanting to get back home and breastfeed. And when it really started getting bad, I tried to stop to breastfeed on the trail, and we got attacked by mosquitoes. There are mosquitoes everywhere. This summer is surprisingly high amount of mosquitoes around where we live. So I just couldn't stand still. So I just put her in the stroller again and started running. And it was okay. I feel like maybe it's a little bit early, but it felt so much better than I thought. But maybe also it was the motivation that got me through it. I don't know. I just wanted to share that with you guys. So twice we've been running, and I guess I will just keep going from now then. This week is solstice when I'm recording this, and also 21st of June is International Yoga Day. So what's better for the week 7 than to do some yoga? Let's begin seated. In the beginning of class, I like to have my palms facing up to collect some energy. I feel like that is a more active way of holding my hands than to have them facing down. But you do you, so I'm keeping mine facing upwards, and I'm trying to just have a straight back and just calm my breath to find an easy seat here. Let's do 3 shoulder rolls. Breathe in, start rolling your shoulders forward and up, hold at the top. When you breathe out, you continue the roll backwards and down, and repeat on the inhale. Roll, hold at the top, and exhale, continue the roll down. When you've done 3, you can breathe in and raise your arms up over your head, and rain them down back on the sides. Inhale, lift them up, and rain them down on the exhale. Lift your left arm up and overhead for a side body stretch. Let your right hand or elbow rest down on the ground. Usually on the first one, let's just not put the elbow down, but more focus on having both butt cheeks firmly on the ground so that none of them lift up. All right, we're switching over to the other side. So lift your right hand up overhead and reach over to the left. You can experiment with bouncing a little bit to see where your elbow wants to be. So like just
playing a little bit with the weight here. Next, we're doing a seated twist flow. So as you breathe in, you lift both hands up and overhead. And as you exhale, you bring the left hand down in front of you and the right hand down the back. Follow the right hand back with your gaze to deepen the twist. And then you switch directions on the next inhale and repeat and flow. We're finishing this one up now to head into a seated twist, which means we're done with the flow. So when you exhale to bring the left hand down, you can place it on your right thigh and then keep it there. When you breathe out, you twist to the back and you stay here for a couple of breaths. When you've done about 3 breath cycles, you can switch over to the other side and hold for 3 more. We're heading into staff pose now, so stay seated on the mat and bring your feet forward. Keep the chest open and feel tall. Lift the crown of your head up, flex and point the feet to feel it out. And then you breathe in, find stillness in the pose, and lift your arms up overhead and hold. Remember to breathe out as well. Now we're going to bring in some movement, and we're going to do a seated cactus arms flow. So it's like staff pose and cactus arm in one. Inhale to lift arms up and exhale to draw them back down. Be mindful that your elbows reach towards the back of your mat and pinch the shoulder blades together. So inhale, reach up, and exhale to draw them back down alongside your body. Great. We're heading into seated forward fold now. So only go as far down as your open chest and straight back allows you to. If you start curling your back, you're too far down, so just head back up a little bit. Breathe in to lengthen and breathe out to fold. And hold for a moment or two. Great, now slowly move out of that and transition to all fours. We're gonna do some juicy cat-cows. Inhale, lift the gaze up and drop the belly. Pinch the shoulder blades together, and then as you exhale, you can round the back, starting from the bottom of the spine all the way up to the neck. Gaze in towards the belly, and then you repeat. Breathe in, gaze up, drop the belly, and then breathe out and curl the back. Let's do one more. And then it's time for some knee rolls. So lift your right leg back and up, bend the knee, and then roll to one direction. Play with switching directions if that feels good. A couple of rolls with the right knee. And now we're switching sides. So lifting the left leg back and up, bend at the knee, and then you roll a couple of times. If you want, you can do the opposite direction too. And now, people, the first downward dog. I'm hoping that it's not only me that just can't wait to do the downward dog. You keep your knees slightly bent if you want, and the hips are reaching backwards and upwards. Look in towards the belly. And if you are a lucky one, you can, put your heels back down to the ground. I cannot. It takes a long stretching session for me to do that, and that's totally fine. So now we're wrapping that one up, walking our way to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, fold down to come up to standing. Reach your arms up with your inhale, up overhead, and then exhale to fold down. A halfway lift, exhale and fold. Place your hands down and step your feet back to plank. From plank, I bring my knees down for a supported chaturanga to downward dog. If you don't want to do them supported, you don't have to. I feel like being postpartum, it feels nice to not put too much strain on my core. We're finishing up this downward dog. Walk your way back up to the top of the mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Pinch the shoulder blades together. Hold for a second. And then exhale to fold down. Inhale, roll up to standing, and then follow the breath straight down again into another sun salutation. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow down and step back to plank. You can decide now whether you wish to use the knees and support your chaturanga to up dog or stay on your toes. We meet in a downward dog and hold for about 5 good breaths. Now we step your feet up, halfway lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, spread your arms and roll up to standing. On your next exhale, you fold down. Inhale to lift halfway, and then step your right foot back into Warrior 2 stance. Let your right arm spiral up and back to guide you to a standing Warrior 2. Hold here. Check your stance. Navel to spine. Long breaths. Last breath, and now we step the back foot up a little bit to transition into triangle pose to the right, and we hold for about 5 breaths. We're going to revert back into Warrior 2 on the right leg now. So on your next exhale, you bring your arms back down and place them on either side of your left foot, and then take your right foot again and step it back to Warrior 2. Inhale to come up. Flip your palms up and lift the left arm for a humble warrior now. Sink your left knee down. Left arm spirals forward, followed by the right, and the right foot steps up a little bit to transition into a revolved triangle. We wrap that up and do the classic vinyasa to downward dog, meaning transition through chaturanga, upward facing dog to arrive in downward dog. Hold for 5. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Step the feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale to bow down. Roll up to standing. Take a big breath and back down we go. Now we will repeat this warrior 2 and triangle flow on the left leg. Halfway lift, bow down, step your left leg back to warrior 2. Rise up slow and controlled and sink down in your front knee. Check yourself so that you are not leaning too far forward. If it helps, you can imagine that your left arm is being pulled back slightly by like an invisible force or something. We're moving into Trikonasana on the left, so step your back foot up slightly and then lean your upper body forward and down as you rest your right fingertips down towards the ground and raise your left arm up to the sky. For me, I kind of like to use my right hand and press it against the ankle to help deepen the twist as I open my chest up towards the heavens. Look down and let your arm come back down. Place both hands on the mat and step the back foot back again. Rise up in warrior 2 stance and move straight into humble warrior. Hold here for a moment. And now we flow back into warrior 2. Next we step the back foot up about halfway to prepare for a revolved triangle. When you found your footing, you lean forward with the upper body and guide the left hand down to rest on the outside of your right foot. Right arm reaches up towards the sky. You can try following your lifted arms with your gaze and be mindful that you open your chest up here. And you hold. Try pressing your arm against your leg slightly to deepen the twist. Alright, wrapping that up, guide your arm back down and place both hands down on top of the mat. Step the back foot up to a halfway lift. Forward fold, and then roll up to standing. Arms follow and they reach up overhead. And then we flow with our breath in a standing twist flow. Inhale to reach both arms up and overhead, and as you exhale, you reach one arm forward and the other arm back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. Alright, we meet with our arms lifted overhead and then we step your feet together to prepare for chair pose. On your next exhale, you sink down on your heels. Strong arms, palms facing each other, knees together. Sink down a little bit. Now, Put your hands together in Anjali Mudra and make your way into a twist to the right. Inhale to lift up slightly and exhale to twist over and place left elbow on the outside of your right knee. I decided to play a little with balance here and I lift my left foot up. Pregnancy really threw our balance out the window, don't you think? All right, rise up to mountain pose, arms reaching up for a well-deserved rinse, and we sink back down for chair pose. Twist to the left this time. Anjali Mudra. Breathe in, and then when you breathe out, you twist to the left. And if you want, play with the balance again. Now let's meet in mountain pose again. Breathe in, stand tall. You're doing great. On your next exhale, you sink back down into chair pose and twist to the right. And now we're going to put that foot balance to use. Once settled in your twist, you can start to lift the left foot up and step it back for a crescent lunge. Twist to the right. Option, open the arms up. Otherwise, just keep them together. On your next inhale, step back up into chair pose and then vinyasa through mountain pose. So breathe in, feel tall, arms up overhead, and then sink back down and repeat chair twist to crescent lunge twist on the left side this time. So we're twisting Anjali Mudra to the left, lift that right leg up, and step back into crescent lunge twist to the left. Press your right elbow again to the outside of your left knee to deepen the twist. If you want, try opening the arms up. Put your palms together at the heart, look forward to step the back foot up and meet the front. Let's meet in chair pose for a couple of breaths. Okay, straighten the legs to forward fold. Place both hands down and step back into plank pose. Now journey through chaturanga, up dog, and finally downward dog, and hold. Make every breath a little longer than the last. Relax. Look up towards your hands and bend at the knee, and then step or hop back up to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, pinch your shoulder blades together and then fold down. Rise up to mountain pose, arms reaching far above your head, and then float it back down. Now place your hands down and prepare for a side plank to the right. Step your feet back and shift over to the right for a side plank. Right arm reaches up to the sky, and then you lift your hip up and hold. Look back down, place both hands down, step it out a little bit, and we meet in downward dog. Hop or step up to the top of your mat. Fold. Reach up to mountain, far over your head with the arms, and then we float back down. Place both hands down, step both feet back, and then side plank to the left. Hip far up. Usually I tend to sink down, so I remind myself constantly when I'm in side plank to just lift that hip up. Almost done. And now we look back down, place both hands down, and we meet in downward dog. Shift forward and chaturanga down to up dog. And back to downward dog we go. Hold here. We finish up, look up to the top of the mat and hop or step it up. Breathe in, halfway lift. And breathe out and fold down. Roll up to standing, arms up overhead. And rain them down to the sides. Now we're going to step to the middle of the mat for some leg balancing poses. So we're going to start by just lifting the right leg up and come into just a lifted knee pose for just a second to find your balance on the left foot. And then when you're ready, you can start to try and straighten out the right leg. So to a standing leg raise. Just try to, kick the toes up as far up as you can. It might not, lift very far, or you just manage to do this big 90 degrees thing, but for me this is like maximum lift and I'm trying really hard. All right, step it back, and now we shift the chest forward to come into a warrior 3 prep. So you kick the right heel back to the back of the room, and then you just shift forward with your chest. If you want, you can just support your body by having your fingertips slightly, touching the ground for support, or you could have them lifted and just float. Slowly come back from that, and if you want, challenge yourself by not putting the leg back on the ground just yet. Maybe come into a lifted knee pose or the leg raise again before we step it back down. All right, finishing up there. Let's move over to the left leg. So same routine on the left leg now. Just shaking it out a little bit. That was that was quite much. Okay, lifting left knee. And then when you're ready, kick the heel out and pull your toes up towards the sky for a lifted leg balance. Option to keep your hands at your hips or at your waist. And slowly we're gonna now move over to a warrior 3 prep without touching the ground with the foot. So just travel with the foot backwards and open your chest up and lean forward into a warrior 3 prep. Really kicking the heel back on this one. If you can, float with the arms above the ground or support yourself with the fingertips. I'm really trying here to float, but it's super hard. All right, slowly we're coming back from this. So try not to touch the foot to the ground just yet. Lifted knee. Straighten the leg out and put it back down on the ground. Great job. Shake it out if needed. From here, we lift the right leg up again, and now we're gonna dive a little bit deeper. So we're gonna travel into a half moon. So you kick the heel back again, and then you open the hips up towards the left or the right side, sorry. And you let your right arm journey towards the sky. So you open up to the side in a half moon pose and you hold here. So you rotate your right leg out. Use the left fingertips to support yourself or try to float them above ground in this pose too. Okay, finish that up. And if needed, just another leg raise or just hug the knee in towards the body and shake it out. And we're gonna transition to half moon on the left leg. So same procedure. When you have the balance, start to kick the left leg back and then rotate out to the left. Open chest. Make sure that also the left foot rotates with you so that you really try to open the hips and the torso towards the left. This is really difficult when you're postpartum, so don't be too hard on yourself if you're wobbly or if you need to, take many breaks and try again. This is where we get stronger, right? All right, at your own pace, finish up, find your footing, and then hug the knee in. And thank the leg for being there for you. Stepping up to the top of the mat, and we come into a big overhead stretch. So both arms up overhead and rain them down to the sides. And then we do that for a couple of more times. So just up overhead and make yourself as tall as possible and rain them down to the sides. One more time, up overhead, big breath, and out to the sides. All right, one bonus time. Up again and out to the sides. That was the very last piece of movement for this week, but we're gonna finish up by just, being here in stillness, if that's possible. If you need to run and get your kid or, do the things, then do that. But I would strongly advise that if you do have the time, stay and enjoy a couple of minutes of stillness with yourself, just to collect the mind, collect the spirit, get some energy, feel what this practice did to your body. Calm your mind. I chose to add in a couple of lion's breaths here. So for me, I also wanted to, be joyful and get on with my day with the spirits high. So I decided to just have some big breaths in and stick my tongue out and then. That was it for this week. See you in the next one. Thank you for showing up. Namaste, people.
All right, I'm doing a time capsule thing right now because I just had an idea that I want to share and put in a time capsule in case I succeed in manifesting this and that the idea actually happens. So today we're in June, the month of June 2023. I have a 6-week-old baby here, and I'm thinking about my YouTube channel that is soon to be launched, and I have an idea about how to integrate more people into what I'm doing. So I want to bring people in to my virtual studio that I'm going to have, my virtual gym. I'm going to offer them a free workout together with me that we're going to do live for the community. And we're also going to do an interview where I ask them all kinds of things about their decision to become more nomadic in their lifestyle, their decision to step into the adventurous world of life. And I'm also gonna add an ingredient of music, since I'm a massive lover of music. Maybe ask them about their favorite mood booster, their favorite song to work out to right now, or just something that makes them happy, and also ask them why that song makes them happy. Is it the artist? Is it the song? Is it something in the beat? What is it? So we get an opportunity to get to know some nomads, to become, to hear their story, and also learn about new music or old music, but bring in the music also into the show. So into the time capsule that goes, and hopefully this is going to become reality in my YouTube channel. Okay,